Hello, my lovely and sweet Libras. This is your horoscope for October 2024. October will be major month because it's your birthday month. Also, happy birthday, my dear Libras who were born in October and also end of September. Now, October will be a reset month specifically for you because it will welcome us with solar eclipse. The last one for, in your sign since 2.5 years. It was always in your sign, and it change your life drastically. Eclipses, they have this power to change, to transform our life because they bring chapters of our life, and you've been closing one chapter, huge big chapter of one part of your life and opening another one. And this will be new moon, and exactly that's the thing is happening. You pass the test of the universe. Next time eclipse will happen in your sign, it will be in 9 to 10 years. So now you can finally exhale and start a brand new self, brand new life. And that's exactly how I named this horoscope of the month of October for you, reinventing self. It's a gift from universe. And of course, reinventing your social stance, because those parts of your life will be concerning, you in October. Now, 2nd of October, we have solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse. And as I said, eclipses, they change our life. It's a huge chapter. And because it's a new moon, there is new beginning to this eclipse. And it's happening in your first house, in your sign at 10 degrees, meaning those of you who were born in the beginning of October, 2nd of October, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this eclipse. This eclipse is particularly interesting because we have Black Moon and Mercury, planet of mind, planet of ideas, conjunct that solar eclipse, meaning uniting the powers to bring that chapter, exactly that one that universe was holding for you, sort of. And Mercury, being planet of mind, being planet of ideas, now it seems like you set already your mind towards your new path in your life, who you are and who you want to be, what are your priorities, and let's say how you want people to see you, to view you, what is your appearance, also how you look like. All these things are brought by this eclipse into your life, the forefront. Plus, this Black Moon is in astrology associated a bit with like fear and not positive things, but it's also associated with some, part of your life where you can attract a lot of attention, a lot of followers. So check where is your Black Moon in your natal chart. That part of your life is more sort of under the spotlight, and you have the power to bring that part of your life to public attention, let's say. Now, because it's conjunct together with eclipse, seems like, anyhow, it's a new moon, but it has this vibe of you finally letting go of something so that you will attain another thing, and you will you will know what is that needs to be done, and you will sort of happily let it go, sort of close the chapter, because Lilith is Black Moon. This another name is Lilith to call in astrology is associated with fear, as I said, and it seems like you will be overcoming one or two fears. There is a situation. It might be that you will finally allow yourself to be that person, that version of yourself that you've been fearing for a long time, that you've been afraid of becoming for a long time. And it seems like on a more subconscious level, you might be finally releasing that fear and, understanding that you will need to step up and make changes in your life. So to put yourself into situation where you might be vulnerable, but at the same time, you would want to test yourself, how you might overcome your fear in that situation or a person, and you might want to test yourself what will be the result, and you might be ready for that. And this eclipse has this kind of vibe, and it will hit your first house. As I said, it's a house of me, all about you, and all about who you are at core and how people view you. What is their first impression about you? And there is a brand new characteristic to hold that thing. And in the next 6 months, you might be changing all those things and, stepping up and onto spotlight, sort of. You might be attracting more public attention. All the attention might be on you, my dear Libras, for the next 6 months. And always allow eclipses 2 to 3 months before and after eclipses appear. That is how long eclipses are influential, and they bring their news. Some of you guys already might have been realizing this part of life, and those of you who are born around 2nd of October, you will be getting that news now in October. And for some of you guys, time will come during the next 6 months when you will get to that point that you have to let go of your fears and finally be your true self and always who you wanted to be, let's say. Now, during this eclipse, we have another amazing thing happening on the sky. Venus, your ruler, and the ruler of this eclipse, which will be situated in your house of money, will make a triangle with 2 other planets. It's lover Mars. Mars is the planet of war and action and motivation, which will be situated in your 10th house. Now, 10th house is all about career. It's a social status house, how you want people to see you and how they see you, where you want to be. What is your highest social status, where you want to be, let's say. And the 3rd planet will be Saturn. Saturn is the planet of work and responsibilities. Now, Saturn is a no-joke planet. It's a planet of age and time, and it will be transiting your 6th house. Now, 6th house is all about work and all about responsibilities. Whatever is on your mind here, you might be actually signing contract, because Venus is in your 2nd house, house of income, and Saturn is the house of job, and Mars is the house of career. You see how this areas of your life coming together. So it seems like you might be actually wanting to link all these areas of your life somehow, to win in all these areas of your life. You might have this sort of wish and, status, like social status wise, your reputation wise, and also your work wise, and also how much you earn. And Venus being in your 2nd house is giving you good benefits while it's transiting your 2nd house. But Saturn is giving you quite heavy responsibilities at work, but which you might be enjoying because it's a triangle happening between these 3 planets. It's the most fluent, let's say, easiest aspect, and it's a more like beneficial aspect. Now, and Mars actually rules your house of true love, your house of committed partnerships and love. And it seems like you are trying to win in that area too. Sort of, you have a wish, let's say, where you want all these parts of your life to straighten up, to be on that sort of level of which you dream of, let's say. And you might be wanting to find someone who are up to your standards, like with the socially high status. And also you might want to, if you already married, let's say, then it might be that you want your husband or wife to attain such a status, or you might want to help them to attain such a status, let's say. And looking at these 3 planets, there is an agreement might be on the table. And if you do sign some sort of deal or sort of papers, contract, maybe it's a new job position or a career position, it seems like it will stay for a long, long time, almost forever, because Saturn is the planet of age, and it will make sure that whatever paper you're going to sign will stay forever, my dear Libras. So make sure to whom and to what you are saying yes. Now, Venus is also, rules your another financial house, and it's already in another your financial house, and also whatever you're signing, finances will be stable, and it will be coming, and it will be more and more, which is amazing, isn't it? Now, during this whole solar eclipse season, this triangle is happening. For some of you, it might be love situation. For some of you, it might be also health situation. It depends on your life situation right now, but for most of you also, it might be totally reset sort of phase of your life. And because Mercury is tightly conjunct to that new moon solar eclipse, and Mercury rules your house of expansion, your house of broader mind and foreign lands, you might be wanting to broaden your life, or to show yourself to the whole world, or to explore world, let's say, and to speak different language, to reach the world by speaking different language, let's say. Or for some of you, it might be about studies. Some of you might totally focus on your studies and on your life goals with this solar eclipse. Now, happy solar eclipse. This will be amazing and positive one, and try to make most of it. Try to initiate things. Try to set up some goals for yourself, to reshape yourself, remold yourself, sort of, because that is a gift from universe, giving you a chance to finally change yourself and bring to the world your better self. Now, another thing which is big happening in astrology, on the sky, will be on 9th of October, Jupiter, planet of happiness and luck, going retrograde, meaning moving backwards, slowing down, and Jupiter transiting your 9th house. Now, 9th house is such an expansive house. It's like your mind is getting blown up. Let's say it's getting broadening, and it's sort of, you are hungry. Sort of Jupiter gives this hunger of exploring other cultures, languages, world, cities, countries, other people and walks of life. All these things are Jupiter expanding and giving you this sort of desire to adventurous desire to explore and find out. Now, but because it is moving backwards now until February 2025, that's how long it will take by moving backwards, slowing down. It doesn't mean that it will stop giving you opportunities of travel, opportunities of study, opportunities of new information, connecting to new people from all sorts of and walks of life. It will just might be pausing, a bit delaying. It will it will bring all those gifts still, but it might be a bit at a later stage when it finishes its retrograde. And no worries, Jupiter is here until next year, July. So you have plenty of time to sort of study this world, my dear Libras. And for some of you, especially those of you who are students, who are still in education process, it might be also the time when you will go back sort of to study some subjects, let's say, that was of your interest before, or maybe even pause, like to take an how it's called, academic leave or something like that, for a half year and it might last only until February 2025, while Jupiter is on pause as well. You might a bit pause your studies too, for one and another reason. And for some Libras, it might be also about your siblings and brothers, because Jupiter naturally rules your inner circle people, meaning your relatives, your siblings, your cousins, neighbors also. It might be the case when you might be contacting or getting contacted by those people who live somewhere far, or who are planning to relocate or move somewhere or to travel somewhere, and their plans will be paused as well. There is a possibility of that, and you might get to know that, and they might be a bit stuck until February 2025. Now, on 17th of October, we have full moon, and full moons are all about conclusions and bringing to an end some situation and putting a light, actually your attention to some situation, like it's sort of revealing sort of situation, and it's happening in your seventh house, such a sensitive house. Now, seventh house is the house of all other people, and with whom we deal sort of with through contractual agreements, with whom we deal through paper signing, and in love and in business, like our spouse, for example, marriage partners, your wife, your husband, or your business partners, or with whom you deal, daily. And also seventh house of those enemies that we know face to face, like, or competitors or opponents, let's say, if you are in a lawsuit, for example. That's also in the seventh house. Now, and full moon happening in the seventh house, bringing to an end some situation related to those people. And it's happening at 24th degree, which means those of you who are born on around 17th of October, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon. And this full moon also will be targeting specific groups of people, exactly. And full moon will conjunct Chiron. Now, Chiron is a healer in astrology, is a mentor, is a teacher. Now there is a huge healing process here. No wonder, after so many eclipses in your sign during last 2.5 years, and happening the last one this month, and this also full moon, which is happening in your seventh house, conjunct Chiron, indicates your healing process. Actually, you are coming to terms with your past, sort of with what happened, because full moons, they indicate to a situation that are already there, that is already there. Nothing new about that situation, is just coming into your frontline attention. And it seems like it is having a logical conclusion there. For some of you, it might be also a divorce, because full moon is a conclusion. It's happening in your contractual agreement house or committed relationship house, to say differently. Now, also for some of you, it might be also a logical conclusion of getting married. You might receive a proposal or get married actually around this date, because Jupiter, which is in your ninth house, will support that full moon together with Chiron. And ninth house, as I said, it's all things foreign, and it seems like who you're getting married will be a foreigner, or speaking a different language, or from a different cultural group, let's say, or background, even if will be or she will be from your own country, let's say. But something might be different there. Now, but Mars, the ruler of this full moon, which will be situated in your house of career, in your 10th house, the highest house of our chart, will send harsh beams to that full moon, sort of will not like it, being the ruler of the full moon, and plus the ruler of your natural 7th house, now house of committed partnerships. Now, it seems like, there might be sort of some disagreement around this full moon's message, or a situation, or a person, and it might be, but the point here that you might receive this news, whatever is coming by this full moon, with ease, because Chiron is there. Chiron is healing your wounds, and you are being taught of how to let go people or things. Or if your, let's say, separation happened even before this date, then it might mean that you are finally coming to good terms, with what happened in your life. Finally letting go and closing that story in your life. Specifically a person in your life, because it's other people's house activated by this full moon. For some of you, it might be not about love. It might be totally about work relationships. Some of you might finally finish sort of a contract or a service agreement that you had with your, let's say, with the company or with your business partner, someone who has influence and reputation. But, Jupiter and Chiron, both of them, they indicate here your good mood. You are letting go with ease, sort of thing happening here. Sort of this kind of vibe is happening here. Now, and you are in general coming to terms with your social status. If you're single now, or either you're married, or whatever is your social status now, you are finally embracing it to the fullest, let's say. Now, I would like to talk about two interesting days in October, and one of them will be 22nd of October, when Sun, which will be in your first house, in your sign, still 22nd of October, will make a war, let's say, with Pluto, because there is no other way to say it, because Pluto and Sun, they are big planets. Pluto is the planet of transformation, Sun is the planet of life, and Pluto will be in your house of home, house of family. They will have a quarrel there, let's say, a war there. Of course, Mars cannot miss the party because it's a planet of war, and Mars also send harsh beams to both of them. Now, these three planets will be involved in sort of a disagreement, but in general, Pluto and Mars will be, for the most part of October, will be in disagreement with each other. And Mars will be located in your 10th house of career, which is uh, driving, your that part of your life to success, your hunger for reputation, hunger for more social status, for better life, for better influence, let's say, driving your desire towards reputation and influence, sort of a bigger lifestyle, kind of, because Mars in 10th house gives this sort of feelings. Now, these three indicate that there might be around 22nd of October, not necessarily exactly on that day, but most likely there might be sort of a bit of misunderstanding or an argument happening between you and your family members. For example, your sweetheart, your husband or wife, or long-term partner, or and also between your mother, because fourth house where Pluto is situated, it exactly indicates our mothers, and it might be between you and them, or any other family members. So there, you see, there are three planets and they indicate three people in your life, and one of them is you, because Sun is in your first house. Or it might be related to financial situation, that quarrel, or it might be related to your social status situation as well. And what is your priority? Like, what are your priorities? What is your wish? What is your future plans? This will get activated also by these three planets, and this might be also a subject of quarrel, let's say. So keep cool during this day and near this date, and stay positive, my dear Libras. Second day that I want to mention, also 25th of October, is happening. Amazing thing is happening on 25th of October. Is one of the best and luckiest day, probably, because Mars will make amazing beam to Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of surprises and shock, but because interaction between these two planets is positive, otherwise, Mars together with Uranus, it's a bit of a challenging one, because it might easily explode. But here they are sweetly giggling with each other. That's why there might be happy surprises by the end of October, around 25th of October, because Mars is in your career house and Uranus is in your house of money, other people money. You might, let's say, receive some sort of funding, and it will shock you. It might shock you because it will be so positive. It will come out of blue. You will never know what Uranus might bring into your life. It might bring additional funds, finances, money, or it might bring additional sort of help, emotional or psychological help as well, related to your daily life, and especially for those of you who have kids, because Uranus rules your children and also rules your business. If you are a business owner, or if you want to develop your business or what you started, let's say with your skills and talents, here might be positive surprises happening around 25th of October. Now, this was your October horoscope, my dear Libras. Stay positive and stay tuned. I wholeheartedly congratulate you with this solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse that is happening in the beginning of October. You deserved it. After this 2.5 years, you deserved it. You worked well, and now universe is finally releasing your new self, and you should allow to universe make its magic. Before saying goodbye, I'd like to also remind you not to forget to check your rising sign and moon sign too, because those are important. Love you all. Bye bye.